Hello, everybody. It is late Sunday evening on the West Coast here in the beautiful state of California, and the fog's just rolling in off the Pacific coast. Fuck this marine layer. These media people that use the term the marine layer, why can't you just say fog? As if that would be something revolutionary, like it's fog. The marine layer. Oh my God. Just pretentious people who think the marine layer is quite sophisticated and all that. Like a dumb son of a bitch that I am, I go get the water, right? And those of you who are saying, what the hell is he talking about? Welcome back. It is Sunday night. I'm Rich Lieberman, trying to be real, trying to give you not comedy, just plain truth and relevancy and observations, etc. This is not forced. This is not manufactured. I don't have any notes. Sometimes I wish I did. No, I'm completely kidding on that. Hold on. I'm going to do this live again. I'm going to get my water so I don't go completely lousy with the voice and hopefully not spill it. Okay. Now we're back in business. So basically what I wanted to talk about was the fact that these are not rehearsed. This is, and I hate using the phrase stream of consciousness because, well, I guess by definition it is. But those of you who have taken a liking to this, I appreciate it. I'm look, nobody has got, what's the word? I'm looking down here because I thought I had something that I had lost, found again, but it's not the case and all that. Boy, am I losing it, huh? There was a tarantula down there, and I'm seeing things. They're all purple and all that. So, I had an email from somebody that it really struck a chord, and I felt so cool about it. I'll share it with you. And she was some lady, and I'm the reason why I'm hesitating, like I'm trying to kind of tell you what she said. Well, she said in so many words that she does laundry on Saturday nights, and I comforted her because I gave her something to watch and do while she did laundry, and she's having issues in her own life. Nothing, she didn't specify, but it wasn't like, well, I'm gonna go harm myself kind of issues. She just said, you made me laugh and all that, and I watch you now religiously, and religiously, I've only done one or two of these. So, and this is the second installment on Rich being rich on Sunday night. And for those of you that don't know me, and boy, aren't you happy? I do a media critique on YouTube. I used to write a lot more than I would broadcast, but circumstances got in the way, and now I broadcast. And one of the things that I said that I like doing is the fact that I know a lot of people are sort of in, how can I put this? They're looking for things to do. A lot of people don't watch TV or streaming and they like realness. They like situations like this. Some do not. But even the ones that do not like me or what I try to do here are watching. Go figure, right? Excuse me, folks. Again, I need to take a big gulp. Water. Very good. So I get it. And what I'm going to try to do here is to be your companion, is to reach out and talk about things that we all kind of talk about, maybe at the dinner table, between our kids, our spouses, maybe our plumbers, handyman, that kind of a thing, and keep you company. Because the mundane media stuff sometimes is just that. It's mundane. And by virtue of just talking, and look, I'm not kidding myself. Short attention span theater that we are these days. Um, it's if you have a simple conversation, everything's got to be a kick or a something. What's the word I'm trying to think of that's used? When you pitch something at a pitch meeting, you got to have a hook. That's the word I was trying to think of. Something. People can't just talk. And what I mean by that is obviously, look, the people are segments want to be entertained, want to be informed. One of the things that I like, and I'm not speaking on behalf of myself here, although I get it. That's why I was so uh, humbled by getting that email from this woman who said, when I do laundry, I watch you, kind of a thing. That made me feel kind of special. But special? Well, isn't that special? Okay. Um, One of the things that is lost in all of this content and saturation and this alternative, that alternative, is this simple conversation. And I realized, look, you can't make movies anymore like My Dinner with Andre, or, do documentaries about Julia Child. Well, you could, I guess, and there's some market, but it doesn't have the mass, commercial appeal. Well, it does, but not, we're not talking about Top Gun or, you know, uh, uh, the Batman movie or Superman and all that. I'm talking about mega. Maybe I made too large of an analogy, but you get what I'm talking about. People just, for some, myself included, I like watching people that are not, supposedly professional. And all they do is talk about their lives. In fact, I was reading, what was it, somewhere? I haven't seen this, but there's some woman on YouTube. All she does is talk about the issues in her life and things of that nature. And she's gotten like 1 million responses, or 1 million, whatever they call it, hits or followers. And all she does is talk about her negatives and her hangups and her idiosyncrasies and, frankly, her depression. And it's not shtick, it's realness. And she's got a big following. And usually when you have something like that, they're looking at, maybe it's an attractive woman, and guys are looking at her because it's an attractive woman, that kind of a thing. But no, it's not even that. They specified in this article it has something to do with the fact that people seem to resonate with that because a lot of people have problems. Even people that are so-called, nuclear families that have it together, that are quite okay and everything like that, are very much enthralled with watching and observing certain things that, in a way, are somewhat entertaining in their mind. And I say entertaining, not like they're standing up and clapping because somebody is depressed and all that. What I'm saying is people that are, for whatever reason, having situations and hang-ups and problems in their own life, which could explain why, the way, a lot of people who go see therapists, including, I might add, very talented people, very much people involved in the public eye, celebrities, um, musicians, bands. How many times have you heard or read about people, brilliant people, right, who have had, bouts with alcoholism or drugs or those kind of drugs, and they end up, God forbid, but some of them end up harming themselves, or maybe getting it back together, but nevertheless they have issues in life. And it doesn't necessarily have to just be celebrities. It could be, plumbers or doctors, um, lawyers. Pick your profession. It's not just celebrities, although celebrities have kind of an open forum, and because they're public, they can go about their business and explain their problems and so forth if they're comfortable enough by talking about it. So these little conversations and my dealings with people and trying to do this. And I'm not going to be holier than thou. I'm doing this to comfort those that seek, whatever, and watch me and all that. Although if that's a byproduct, great, so be it. Wonderful. One sec. It's time to drink the water. Okay, so last night I went on YouTube, and normally I talk about media, and I critique, and I whine, and I critique, and I tell people, mostly in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, and San Jose, and Oakland, the market, San Jose, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Bay Area, about the shit that takes place in the Bay Area with regards to news, entertainment, television news, radio. Although in the Bay Area, we don't have any radio. We have shit for radio, but I don't count it as the real McCoy because it isn't. But having grown up in sort of a very dysfunctional family, but in a comforting way, a Jewish family. And when I was born, my mother was already divorced. I was once one of four. Now I'm one of two because my brother passed and I lost pretty much all my family. But I grew up where we sat down, hopefully, had a meal, and there'd be yelling and screaming and arguments and, a whole bunch of shit. People, get on the YouTube here. I'm screaming because we don't have anybody, and I don't care. I guess I do care because I brought it up and all that, but I just put something out on Twitter. They'll be here. But even if they're not, I could talk to you. I could talk to myself, I guess. So I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot of turbulence in their life. As I said, even people who have family, have relationships, are relatively cool, have it together, are the same people who don't have it together. I mean, structurally and all that, yeah, they do. And they're not, going to harm themselves or do something crazy and stupid. Nevertheless, they go on certain forums, whether it's here or, I don't know, read a book, do things, there's some that just want an escape, right? And maybe they're not here. But what I was trying to say was, I very much get the fact that some people could find comfort in watching me and look, I make jokes about it and all that, but I myself have had issues and still do. I'm not bragging about it, obviously. I'm just saying that doesn't make me a Boy Scout because I'm not. But just knowing that we have these forums now, that we have social media and a YouTube and a Facebook and whatever, pick your social media, Instagram and all that. TikTok, I don't count because that's kind of a weird, I don't know, setup. Never worked for me. But I can see the people who like it, particularly younger people, because it's kind of got these little things that, anyway, could be an addict on anything, I guess. But I can see where people find these forums to be quite compelling. And if they're helpful, well, God love you. Thank God we have this. I'm not one of those. I mean, I'm curious at heart. I've always been curious. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is that was a Larry King line. Remember that? He used to always say, I'm curious. That's why I don't read the book. When I have an author on, I don't read the Larry didn't read the book because he was lazy. He didn't want to have to work. But he could pull it off. He was very entertaining. So anyway, it is Sunday night. I guess people, which I somehow attract a lot of people on the East Coast, have decided to call it a night. Maybe we'll promote this more and talk about issues like the Ron Owens, Laura Owens, Jan Black thing, and bring you about a forum to which we can interact and all that. I said I was going to do it on Sunday at about 10 o'clock my time in the morning. We didn't do that for a variety of reasons. Schedules were a little bit hectic and other things. But we could certainly promote and talk not so much about that, but we can, but maybe open this up and do it once or twice a week and have forums, and maybe we could do it where you can interact with me and call me and so forth and all that, because I know a lot of people, they're tired. It's kind of the week before the unofficial conclusion of summer is Labor Day, which it is, and we can talk and kvetch and bitch and moan and do whatever we want to do, and uninterrupted. And it will hopefully be interesting, but if not interesting, intriguing. How's that? Informative. So I'm Rich Lieberman. You guys have a great, great rest of your Sunday into Monday. Enjoy the rest of August, and we will see you later. Thanks for watching. Please, please tell your friends, assuming you have some, become a subscriber, and we'll talk to you soon.